At this point, I just wanted to do a straw poll, and so you really don't need your voting cards, you just sort of need your hands. And what I will be asking would be for those who are in favor generally of moving this resolution forward to plenary, if you would raise your hands, and then I will ask for those who would not recommend moving this forward. So how many of you who are number twos? If you're number one and you're just sitting in, you're welcome to sit in. But if you're number twos, have been assigned to this hearing, how many of you are in favor in general of moving this resolution forward to plenary? Okay, how many of you would have another option for this resolution? Okay. So the general sense is that we're moving forward. What I would like to do at this point is to put our scribe to work. Those of you, are there any amendments to be made to the first, therefore be it resolved? Marcia has a couple of friendly amendments.
Several people have mentioned these, so I just want to say let's just go for it. That in the first whereas, that we include the language following the words of all persons, but not limited to those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Would that be a friendly amendment? The first, be it resolved. So the words would be in that first one, therefore be it resolved that we, the annual meeting of the Pacific Northwest Conference of the United Church of Christ, in all aspects of its administrative, program, and worship life, declare the Pacific Northwest Conference to be open and affirming of all persons, including but not limited to those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. And then the other one is the second resolved, be it resolved that we, the annual meeting of the Pacific Northwest Conference of the United Church of Christ, will encourage, I got to get their language here right, will encourage its member churches to continue a committed, prayerful, and respectful dialogue.
So is the annual meeting of the 2011 annual meeting? We have to specifying that, or just the annual meeting?
Just the annual meeting. The annual meeting of the Pacific Northwest Conference of the United Church of Christ encourages its churches to continue a committed, prayerful, and respectful dialogue.
So, Mr. Parliamentarian, do all of you know Steve Crapson? Steve has been parliamentarian for the conference for I don't know how long. And on friendly amendments to this, do we need to vote on them, or? Okay, so we don't need to vote on those because the original presenters say that's okay. So then let me go back to the first, therefore be it resolved. Are there any other tweaks that you would like to make to that? On the second, therefore be it resolved, is there anything in that needs to be dealt with further basis? Dave?
The only question I had was whether at the last line of that second, be it resolved, it seems to me that this is an issue of human rights that deals with sexual justice, issues of sexuality. So just a question of whether we wanted to say including those related to human rights and human sexuality, to broaden that discussion. And then that would also be included when we get to the fourth, be it resolved, that on the second line of the fourth, be it resolved, encourages its member churches to study and be in conversation about human rights and human sexuality.
Is that acceptable? Okay. So you can write them any way you want to, since you're the scribe.
like to propose, sorry, my name is Kenna, I'm a member at Plymouth. I wanted to propose for that second, be it resolved, that we change the ending with also the change that you just suggested, but including those relating to human sexuality, gender identity, and gender expression.
Okay, so there is an amendment, suggested amendment. Did you get the wording, Dave?
Human rights, human sexual, gender identity, gender expression, both of those?
Yes.
Human rights, human sexuality, gender identity, and gender expression is the order? Is that okay?
Correct. And how does that sit with the presenters? Friendly group. The third, be it therefore resolved. Are there any changes, or can that stand as it is? Down on the fourth one. And I think there was the friendly change there already. Could you read that, Dave, then, with the changes that were recommended?
Yeah, and I don't know if the people who made the second one want to include that in the fourth one or not, but the way I have it here is, be it further resolved that the annual meeting of the Pacific Northwest Conference of the United Church of Christ encourages its member churches to study and be in conversation about human rights and human sexuality, and then it's the same.
Yes, Andy. So the third line down on the, should have numbered these on the fourth, therefore be it resolved, the gifts of different gender identities and expressions. Okay. Is that in there, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. The final, be it therefore resolved. Is there anything there that you wish to change? Gail? Correct. So be it therefore resolved that the annual meeting of the Pacific Northwest Conference. Okay, now you need your voting cards. You can only vote one if you're an official delegate to this meeting, and if you have a number 2 on your card. I'm sorry. You'll now, the way this procedure works, what we're doing as a hearing is to propose these changes to the plenary session. At the plenary session, no matter what number is on your card, as long as you are an official delegate, you will vote again on this material at plenary. So right now you're only voting to take this resolution to the plenary session for a vote with the changes that have been made. Chip, are you wanting to say something? Okay. So all those in favor of moving this resolution, please raise your voting cards. Thank you. All of those who are opposed to moving this forward, please raise your voting cards. Are there any abstentions? Okay. I want to thank the presenters. I want to thank you for your respect for one another, for your abilities to voice what is in your heart. And if we could just send ourselves out with another Alleluia. So if you could stand.
Ale, ale, hallelujah.